Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Christy, and in today's video we're going to be talking about my top reads of 2023. So the past 2 years I've really developed a love for reading again, and so the first 2022, the first year that I started to immerse myself back into books, I read 17 books, which was insane compared to like the zero I had read before. And so this year I actually exceeded my challenge of reading 20 books. I ended up reading 28 books, and I was just stunned that I was able to do that. So I'm going to talk about in today's video some of my favorite books or 5-star rating books that I've read this year. And to preface this, I would also like to say that my favorite genre to read are thrillers and mystery books. So you're gonna see there's a trend in all of the books that I'm gonna be mentioning here. They're all thrillers, and which are my faves. So I think I should have prefaced this video by saying that my love for reading was started because I was trying to bring some creativity back in my life. I spent a good bit of my adult years reading self-help books, which are really great, and I still do, but not nearly as much anymore. The thing with self-help books is that you get so it's this constant need to work on yourself. Something is wrong with you, or like that you're lacking in some way, or you're not quite there yet of where you want to be. And so it's really great for mental health to bring in some fictional aspect to kind of like, you know, weigh down some of these stressors in your daily life, take you in a different space, in a different era or a different timeline, different point in time, and trying to get lost in someone else's story and not really think about your own life, what's going on there, and just be able to relax and de-stress. So that was really why I started reading a lot of these books, and I just fell in love with it and haven't looked back. And some of the formats that I use to read are, because I am a busy mom, I'm busy working mom, so what I do is I do a lot of Audible, and I use Libby. If you have a library card, you can download audiobooks on there too. And I have a Kindle. Kindle Unlimited was a great investment for me because there's so many books on there that's included in your membership. And lastly, I use Spotify Premium, which also includes audiobooks, and interchange also with physical books. So those are the main ways that I read or try to get it in while I'm also on my busy schedules, especially with Audible. While I'm cooking, cleaning, or just doing chores, I'm able to plug in a book and listen to that, and I can finish a book in like a day or two or something like that. It's so easy. We're gonna just dive in. I think some of these you'll probably have heard of, and or you'll be inspired to try it and pick it up. So I hope that we have some book lovers in this channel, and or some aspiring readers on here as well. So let's jump into it. To start, this one is very popular, and like I said, you probably have heard of this, and this is The Housemaid. So this book is about this maid started working for this family. Over time she developed a relationship with her employer, which is the husband, and it just takes a lot of twists and turns of things that you would not expect. I'm trying to not give too much away. But yeah, I think it was 100% surprising, and like how it unraveled. And this may be triggering for some if you're in a domestic violent relationship, so just beware. I think this is the thing with thrillers, a lot of them can be triggering depending on like what your experience are. So this was definitely a fun read though, and very quick to get into. I read this probably in a couple days. You could finish it in one day, honestly, if you have the time, because it's just that good. And yeah, The Housemaid, definitely a 5-star rating in my book. This one, rock, paper, scissors, 100% had me hooked. So this is like a couple that went on a remote getaway for their anniversary, and a lot of secrets from their past and present started to unravel, and it just led to a lot of twists and turns that really could determine the longevity of their relationship and what happens to them. So definitely a 5-star read. They're really good. I think this is like it's also very fast paced. All of these books are kind of fast paced. I definitely am the type to really like to just dive in and get into it. I don't like slower paced books. So yeah, these are all super fast paced. This next favorite is called What Lies Between Us, and so this is about a mother and daughter relationship that just became really dark due to past trauma and secrets, and you see all of these things also unravel in here. They get into it, and as like the story goes on, you get to learn more about the truth of their relationship and the length that people can go to when it comes to just grief and heartbreaking feelings and things like that. So or it can also, there's a mixed perspective of even protection and love, and all the twisted mess up things that they're doing to each other, but it's really out of love. So you get to really explore some of that. So this was a really, really, really great read. Very unexpected. I was stunned as it unraveled. So 100% love this. This one here, I could not put it down. It was amazing. In my dreams, I hold a knife. So it's about a high school, college reunion, and a lot of friends met up, and it was very awkward for them because one of the people that were in the group back in college had died back in college, and their relationship hadn't been the same since they left college, and a lot of secrets come up as to what really happened to their friend who passed. So you get to figure that out in like a story of identity and how people like to be perceived, and there's just a whole lot of like different perspectives and stories, how they're all connected to the actual truth of what ended up happening years and years ago. So definitely a 5-star read. This next one could also be very triggering for some, and I know now for me, even as a parent, it's hard to read those kind of books, but this one was really, really good. Local Woman Missing, and there's like, the reason why I say it's triggering is because there's child kidnapping involved, and personally I feel like it's harder to read those kind of things now that I have my own child. So but I think this I like books that I can never, typically it's easy for me to predict how a story is going to end, and with this it was just so many twists and turns that you would not expect, and just how this one was like very realistic as to how something can go from good to completely wrong really quickly, and how people's lives can just change and turn upside down, and mistakes and anyone could easily make and things like that. So how all those different things that I talk about impact these people's lives, it was just it was hard to put this one down, but 100% a 5-star read for me. The second to last 5-star rating book for me of 2023 was Finding Me by Viola Davis. So it's a autobiography, and it was truly just heartwarming, relatable, and just vulnerable story, and definitely could not put it down. It was just, I love Viola Davis as an actress, and being able to understand her background, where she come from, her roots, and how she was able to work so hard to be where she is now. It was just a beautiful story to read. Definitely a 5-star rating. So the next 5-star read is called Don't Let Her Stay, and this one was so shocking. And so this woman who was married, expecting, had a baby, and her stepdaughter moved in with her in the house, who the stepdaughter was hadn't had a relationship with the father in years and years. And so they were all living together, and the wife all of a sudden felt like someone was out to get her, trying to harm her in her own home. So it was kind of like, are her suspicions correct, or is this all in her head? Trying to figure out, like, is someone really out to get her, and who is it out of these people that are living in the house? So it was a lot of also twists and turns and unexpected different ways that the story unraveled, and it's to the last page kind of like it was jaw-dropping. It was extremely shocking to the end, and like even when you felt like you figured out the whole plot and like what really happened, and then boom, something else like comes and just completely blows your mind as to like what the truth is actually. These next reads are actually 4-star ratings in my opinion, but I wanted to share them because to someone else it could be 5-star, and also they're still really worth reading. They're amazing books. I think it was just not, it wasn't really 5-star for me personally. And to start, it's The Last Mrs. Parrish, and it's very similar to The Housemaid. So I think this one is also just trigger warning. It's a bit about domestic violence. So this is it definitely hooked me in, but I think that it was too similar to The Housemaid story, so I was gonna feel like I was reading the same book. But I would definitely recommend The Housemaid more if you're wanting to choose between one or the other. And speaking on The Housemaids, they have a sequel which was really good as well. I don't think it was as great as the first one, but it was really interesting, and I liked how they were able to change things up and they were able to come with a different plot still, like with the same concept. So it still hooked me in, but I think The Housemaid it definitely could not be beat from the original book. The next one is called Before I Let Go, and the story was really cute, and this is not a thriller. I would say this is more romantic. So and basically about a couple who was experiencing a loss of a child, and how their relationship has changed from that experience of losing a child, and it was really captivating. The next book I want to mention is Never Lie by Frida McFadden. So that one actually it was a 5-star read for me. I didn't have it here, but that one definitely 100% recommend. I actually want to read it again. It was also the same kind of plot where you think you know what's happening, and then boom, something else happens to the very end, where it just really shifts the concept of like what you thought was real. A 4-star read was What the Kind Worth Killing For. So that was another thriller book, The Inmate by Frida McFadden. Definitely a great 4-star read. The Maid's Diary by Lauren Ann White. And the last two are The Good Lie by A.R. Torr, and may have butchered that last name, and Every Last Secret. So those two were like my last 4-star reads of 2023. So those are some great recommendations that I would say to anyone who's interested in getting back into reading, or it really enjoys thrillers. So those are some of the few books that I read in 2023. I hope you really enjoyed that. I want to do more videos around like some of the books that I'll be reading for this year. My reading goal is to aim for 2 to 3 books a month. So I've already started one for January. Picked that up a little bit earlier, but I would love to discuss or show more of like some of the things that I'm reading, and even discuss with you in the comments of what you're reading as well. Let me know, actually plug that in. And I will add my Goodreads account in the description to see what I've read and some of the other books that I've rated highly. A list of all these books here. And yeah, I hope that there are some readers here that we can talk about this more and get into it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hope to do more like this. So thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed day. See you next time.